This thing on? Good morning, good morning, good morning. How y'all doing? It's EDC in NYC, and we're here for the live card update. It's an early morning stream. I am usually not very awake at this time of the day. But we're not, not to try to infringe on our good friend Nazbase, who's up and live right now. But I thought we'd have a quick look at the live card update. See if I can actually get into my own devices here, and then we'll rage it back over to Naz. But good morning, everyone. How y'all doing? Anyone excited? Brand new cards came out today. There you go. D King is first. D King, how you doing? 127 new cards added to the game today. Part of the live update happens every month during the regular season. So this is our first live card update of the PT26 campaign. And I'm going to share with you my normal sheet. I do this every year. I kind of track all the updates and changes that have happened. And this is earlier than I usually would do. We had a 2-alarm fire across the street, so it woke me up a little early. I said, let me go dig in and look at the stats. So me and my good friend Vin Scully,
I decided I'm going to do a little research.
And took a look at some of the live card updates that we have. So let's get into it, because that's why we're here, just to take a little live king updates, and I will get you this wonderful sheet. Good morning, A-Hunter. How y'all doing? Quick and dirty numbers. Let's go through the numbers. This is the overalls that have happened. We have had 2 new perfects, Paul Skeens and Logan Webb, moving from 98 to 100. We have lost Jordan Alvarez, Bryce Harper, Vlad Guerrero Jr., and Mike Trout from the perfect realm down into high diamond. That is it on the perfect movement. So if you're looking to make some bucks, your investments in Logan Webb and Paul Skeens have paid off. Your investments in folks like Yamamoto, sticking at a 99. Freeman, moving from 97 to 99. Cade Smith, 97 to 99. Tanner Scott, 97 to 98. Logan Gilbert, 95 to 98. So you can see, and you can't see because it's too tiny, right? Let's just kind of make this bigger so you can see. So one of the interesting things, I think, from today, I'll take a look at some of this, but just looking at the changes by level, we've lost 2 perfects. We've lost 5 from the diamonds from the launch deck. We've lost 6 golds from the launch deck. We've gotten 5 new silvers, so added 5 silvers. We've minus 6 bronzes and 15 additional irons. So more dropping than jumping up so far in this first live card update. Baseball is getting worse, exactly, says the OTP live updates. So that appears to be the truth that's happening there. And that's what we're going to be talking about real quick, but we'll get you off to Nazbase again in a bit. So that's what's happening here. That's the overall kind of scheme of things. There's a lot more new cards in. You'll see 2 new silvers, 9 new bronzes, 116 new irons. Oh my. 13% increase in live cards. You're live within the next 4 or 5 days, when people start pulling packs, especially after Thursday, your live missions should be very completable. That's 116 new irons being added in. So if you've been getting stuck, again, I haven't looked at each one specific team that's got additional irons, but we can take a look at that. One of the big ones, I think, was Atlanta, right? Let's go take a look and see what we have here in the collection missions for Atlanta. Okay, this is definitely one that was holding me up. There are now 1, 2, not that many more. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new irons: Chavez, Hernandez, Verdugo, Ian Anderson, and Zach Thompson. So that's 5 more. That'll get you to that magic 23 you need to finish off this one. Go buy that Rafael Montero. Not found. So that's just some of the new live irons. It's going to make this a lot easier to finish. Is that one of your biggest complaints? Is Jung-Hoo Lee? Well, that's the wonderful thing we have about this sheet. We can go take a look at a specific player. If I get my act together here. And let's go take a look. This is one of our biggest droppers, Yandy Diaz. We had, as far as drops, the biggest droppers: Santander, Bo Bichette, Brian Reynolds, Christian Yelich, Churio, Jazz Chisholm Jr., Semien, Beto, Pasquantino, Contreras, Adames, and Diaz, all dropping. 7 was the max in drops. As far as gainers, Ben Kasperi is coming in from a 41 to a 60, is the biggest gainer, 19 points. A couple other outliers: Smats, Tyler Alexander jumping up 13 points, Mitch Spence 11 points, Colin Ree 9 points. Again, pitchers getting some of the biggest jumps. And then you've got 7s and 6s. Let's go take a look at Jung-Hoo Lee. So this is how this works. This is Yandy Diaz, one of the biggest droppers. He improved his gap and V left, avoid K. Yeah, surprise stream. I do this on live card updates, and it's super early because we had a 2-alarm fire across the street, so that made me come through and just go do the live update a little earlier. And so you can see Yandy Diaz here dropped in his PBAB at V right and V left. Bigger drops in I, not walking as much. And so those two things increase there. No change really in fielding. One of the ones that was mentioned was Jung-Hoo Lee. So let's go through. This is how you use this sheet. I'm going to give you this sheet, a link to this sheet in a bit here. But you always go down to the filters. You show the player. You clear the existing player, Yandy Diaz. And then we're going to look for Lee. Jung-Hoo Lee. Add him in. And then we're going to do it also for the fielding. Clear. Jung-Hoo Lee. Okay. So just making it, again, Jung-Hoo Lee having a big increase. One of the things you have to remember is that this is only 1/6 of the season, right? 1/6 of the season performance. So it's unlikely someone's going to go from iron up to diamond, right? Because it's only 1 month, and they want to make sure that we're looking at versus rest of your stats that you're not going to have a full year. You know, it's 1/6 of the season, right? If you keep this up for 2/6, 3/6, 4/6, 5/6, this could very easily be a diamond card by the end of the year. So just remember that when you're thinking about live spec and live update, so you're not going to see giant increases. What did you do see increases? You saw his PBAB going up 6. You saw his doubles, his gap, go up 13 to 102 overall. The avoid K striking out a little bit higher than he would before, than the projection showed. No changes at all. Actually, outfield arm improved by 1. So that does have an impact when you're taking a look at a player. Defense is part of that overall calculation. And so we saw that last year with Jackson Merrill going in the center field from his shortstop to center field and getting all his stats. So these are one of the things that you'll take a look at. We have the breakdowns on this sheet that you can go through and review. Any other big surprises? I'm going to say Max Fried. I thought Max Fried would go up. Let's go take a look at Max Fried. I hit clear first to get the Sasaki out of there. Let's go take a look at Max Fried. Again, stellar first part of the season, and you're seeing some recognition of that, right? So the PBABIP, the home run allowed is improved. The PBABIP's improved. The control is improved. You're seeing that on both sides. The stamina is jumped from 60 to 65. We know how important stamina is when we're looking at live cards, and so seeing some stamina boosts there is kind of interesting. Again, this is why I do this. I need you guys here to watch me go through and fix this. I did a little copy pasta from last year's sheet. There are still some tabs here that have nothing in them that we'll need to look at some point. But all I've done is taken the existing live cards. I took the download of the card database yesterday, and the download the card database today. And I've gone through and just put some code in, put it all in, and I just have the 2 months now. So I just have the live players tab, and all I've done is just added a player ID because there are some players that are same. They may change levels, so I don't want to use the card title because the card title can change based on their level, or position changes, which we have a lot of position changes going on. And also I put a little, so that's how I'm doing that. And I put the date. So this is the April 17th data, and we just added the May 5th data in here. And that's all I'm doing to create all these wonderful, fun to use pivot tables. The other thing to note, if you're looking at live card update for today, is that PT Live is probably going to be a little messed up for you. So go to PT Live right now. You'll see failed. If you hit submit, it'll tell you why. Carmen Blodzinski is no longer eligible as a relief pitcher. So we've had a wonderful run of doing PT Live, where there'll be some pitchers that are considered relief pitchers that are actually starting. So no longer can we use Carmen Blodzinski, I'm butchering horribly there, as your in your relief spot. So make sure you go double check. There's also some other changes. Teoscar Hernandez is no longer left field. He's right field. So you'll see these types of things. Go through and review your rosters. I need another reliever on this team. And I don't know. Do I go with Camilo Doval? We got the White Sox. Let's go with the Angels here. No Jansen. Do I not have Kenley Jansen? Kenley? Oh, only projected start. Let's do that. Kenley. Let's get Kenley Jansen in there for the Angels. They're not playing today. Boston playing today? They are not playing today. Don't know who can have my second reliever. Kirby Yates. I don't think he pitched yesterday for the Dodgers. We'll do that. So just go and double check that your PT Live rosters are actually working. And then, again, this is the sheet. Do you have any other players you want to see? Again, I'm going to make this a relatively short stream today, and I'm going to give you this tool so you can kind of play around with it. Let's see if I've actually... Oh, I did not update my... It says... I thought I updated my sheet. Anyway. This sheet is available. If I can get myself together here. Any other players you want to see details on? I want to see how did Ohtani get nerfed? I have to feel like Ohtani got nerfed. Don't you think Ohtani got nerfed? I want to know. I want to know. Hit edit. And then again, you got to hit the clear button. Down here, go to filters. Hit the clear button. And go. Ohtani did get nerfed a little bit. Power's down 11 points. Avoid K is down. Gap is down, but BABIP's up a bit. The I stays the same. The right, power's not impacted as much. So it's really V left power got nerfed from 132 to 121. And so that's it. No change. Look at the summit. The stealing rate hasn't changed. None of that stuff has changed. Usually these don't change a lot. The steal rate and the sum of stealing. And who else? Who else was a big mover or shaker this month? go to the positive moves. Anybody big? We've got Eovaldi, Mackenzie Gore, Mandela. So we've got Tyler Rogers and Willier Abreu. Christian Campbell. Again, we're not going to see giant moves early in the season. Oh, I did see Pages. I'm surprised that he's doing as well. Let's go take a look at Pages. Paez. I don't know. I need to know. I still don't know how to call his name. Clear Pages. And let's also get his fielding in. Clear. Okay. So up 6. Yes, this sheet is shareable. Sorry, I meant to do that. Here is the sheet. I've got instructions on how to use it. All the instructions. Make a copy for yourself, and then you can go through and take a look at specific things and dive through. Paez here, improving the PBABIP, improving the power, but not much else. And a slightly increase in the outfield range, going from 59 to 61. So a 6-point increase with not a lot of substantial changes in the stats, which is kind of interesting. So there you go. Some of the different ones. Who else? So yeah, I forgot. I meant to share with you guys earlier. So live card, there's the live card update sheet. If you're in our Discord as well, if you're getting the theme teams, you have access in the PT26 updates channel. Make a theme team while you're at it. Got 130 theme teams running this week. Let's see. Is there anybody else that's worth looking at? I don't know. Like I said, this is going to be a pretty short stream. I do not expect to go more than a half hour here. Ben Kasparius on the big pitcher updates. Again, into bronze. Let's go through and let's go edit that. Edit. Showing clear. Kasparius. So interesting. Kasparius looks like he's moving from a starter to a reliever. So that's interesting, right? Let's go double check in the game to make sure I'm looking at that correctly. Market. Let's submit PT Live roster. Market. Card shop. Kasparius. Turn that off. So Kasparius, well, here you go. Kasparius is going to get the bulk of innings today. He's been turned from a starter to a reliever. So in my PT Live today, let's get Ben Kasparius in there over Kirby Yates. I don't know if he's going to start, but he'll be the bulk pitcher today. So we love the innings in our relief spot. So we'll see how that works today. So Ben Kasparius turning from a relief pitcher, starting pitcher, relief pitcher. And so that's what's interesting when you take a look again also at the overall ratings and the reason for the big jump is Kasparius is moved from from a starter with a 53 stamina to a reliever with a 37. That reduces his overall rating as a starter, but it increases his rating because now his stats as a reliever look really good. So just a little interesting nuance when you're looking at live card updates. That change from starter to reliever is going to make an impact and make them look higher. If the Dodgers decide to make him into the 5-man rotation, next live card update, he becomes a starter, he's going to drop because his ratings versus other starters are going to not look as good. So it's a little quirk in the overall system just to be aware of when you're looking at live card spec and updates. That position change has a big impact on how a player is looked at in the ratings. Okay, you talked about Goldschmidt. Let's go through and talk about Goldschmidt. Oh, Rasmussen went from relief pitcher to starting pitcher. Let's go take a look at Rasmussen then while we're here. And we'll go look at Goldschmidt. Okay, forgot to hit clear first. So let me do this. Hit clear. Got to do that. That's the most important thing when using this sheet. So Rasmussen did go from starting pitcher to relief pitcher. His stamina jumped 16 from 44 to 60. And he did improve his PBABIP. It's pretty good. So it may also be a little bit something to do with his ratings are pretty good to start with. So yeah, I don't know. There's always some interesting, quirky things when you're taking a look at the details, the depth of the data when you're doing the live update. So maybe my rule of thumb is not a true rule of thumb to kind of look at there. Let's go back and look at Goldschmidt. That was a question. Goldschmidt having one of the better batting average seasons he's had in quite some time. We'll take a look at Goldschmidt there. And we'll do his fielding as well. So clear and Goldschmidt. So Goldschmidt dropped 17 points. A big part of it is the power drop. He dropped 11 points in power, 8 points in I. So more singles hitting, as we've seen Goldschmidt do, but that was offset by big drops in power and I, both V left and V right, explaining some of his drop month over month. He did improve his infielding a little bit. Again, it wasn't great to start with for the infield range. Yeah, I don't know, D King. It's a little weird on Rasmus. Not gonna lie. But this is interesting on Goldschmidt. Again, you can kind of explain why they didn't go up. You see the big increase in the PBABIP, but that's offset by the power and I increase, right? So that's some other things in there. Again, if you want to use this sheet, if you want to kind of check it out, you can check out here the live card and follow the instructions. Make a copy, follow the instructions, play with it on your own. So my biggest surprise, my biggest surprise, I think, is that baseball got worse. My biggest surprise is we increased the card database for live cards by 13%. We added 127 more cards. And we actually dropped the number of perfects overall, the total number of perfects, by 2, from 21 to 19. Usually, we kind of see over time, again, in the past, maybe this is just me making up stuff, but as the number of lives increase, the distribution across perfects, diamonds, golds, silvers, and bronzes somewhat flexes as well. But we're not seeing that this time. Matter of fact, we're seeing a decline, a drop in perfects, drop in diamonds, drop in golds. That's probably my biggest surprise. Honestly, I'm not doing a lot of cards, live card spec, which is my bad. I need to be more on top of it. I just was not in the first month of the game. I'm just collecting as many lives as possible and then trying to figure out which ones are going to potentially pop long term. I think looking at the trends is going to be interesting as you take a look at your biggest gainers. Is there anybody here that looks like they're going to have a longer growth trajectory, right? Mackenzie Gore could be one that has a longer growth trajectory that you can still get in at a silver price and see where he goes. That's your biggest surprise is DeGrom stayed perfect. I mean, Let's go take a look at DeGrom. Now, the thing about perfects, the biggest thing about perfects that you have to realize is sometimes these perfects are like 104s and 105s, right? And so you're not going to see them, but perfects only go to 100, right? So some perfects are more perfecter than others. And so just because you see a drop in somebody, their background stats may be high enough that they're juiced even higher. So even though they took a drop in their stuff, they're still pretty good. Also, the stamina increase is interesting here. DeGrom going from a 35 to a 53 may help to offset that. But that's, again, taking a look at, he was pretty juiced to begin with. He didn't drop off enough to hurt him. And maybe, again, the stamina increase also helped him a little bit. So that's DeGrom not going down to perfect. I think that's interesting. Bregman, yeah, Bregman's got a good chance to go up, I think. Let's go take a look at Bregman. We're going to do Clear and Bregman. And let me do that as well for his fielding. Never want to forget fielding. And so, yeah, he's looking pretty good on the way to Diamond. You can see Bregman here has improved. He's dropping his eye. He's striking a little bit more, walking a little bit less. Again, not huge. Big increases in PBABIP, gap, and power, both V left, V right. And the interesting thing, no one gained more than 7 points as well. Sometimes in the past, you remember we've had relievers that have jumped really high or dropped really a lot. We've had like 30-point swings in the past on some relievers. We're not seeing that this time around. Bregman did drop a little bit in his defense across the board, just something to be aware of. Pete Crow Armstrong. Let's go take a look at him. Again, Clear, Armstrong, Stretch Armstrong, Pete. And again, you have to remember, it is very likely they will go up further, but this is only the first 1/6 of the season. So you're looking at 1/6 of the season performance versus aspect. Oh, Bregman's been updated to third base for PT Live. Yeah. Well, none of the hitters went more than 7. And yes, Kasparius did go up 19. For the most part, though, 7 seems to be like the big increase, right? We've had 19, 13, 11, and 9. So we had 5 players that went up more than 7. Everything else is 7. And as far as droppers, no one dropped more than 7. So Kasparius is the biggest increaser out of the group. But in general, 7 below is the kind of thing on both droppers and on gainers. We were looking at the change detail here for Pete Crow Armstrong. So 9 increases in gap, 10 in gap on both sides, dropping a little bit in eye, dropping a little bit on his outfield range. It's going to impact him a little bit as well. And again, no changes in stealing. I don't think they do much changing on stealing rate. So not that much, much more significant improvement in gap. I don't know how much that has the impact on the overall rating. So he, I don't know. At this rate, like on this, he might inch his way up to Diamond, but it's not like a gigantic change. If he starts hitting a lot more homers, then things will change. If he starts walking a lot more, I think things will change. But he may not be the best long-term investment. At most, getting up to Diamond is where he's going to go, I think. So, anyway, if you want to get this sheet, you want to play around with it, again, I've got it here. Enjoy. If you got questions, let me know as we go through. But just a little live card spec stream, or at least the results. I don't do much specking. He is playing elite level so far. I think his defense and offense is reflecting that. Again, probably hurt by the I and avoid K a bit. and we'll have to see, you know, I don't know how much gap really drives you up. Um, but if he plays at this level for the next, you know, 3 months, then he should be a diamond by then. It's just not going to be overnight in the next card update unless some of these stats change dramatically. But he, you know, he's better than projections, but only slightly better. I think he gets to diamond. And so it's just an interesting thing. Top 10. Really? Oh, I don't know. He's great. Not gonna say anything wrong. And he's a star. Any other ones here? Again, a lot of people that are injured stayed where they were. Logan Webb joining us in the overalls. I wasn't sure if Skeens was. Let's go see what Skeens did. Let's go do what Skeens did here. Again, just go down to filters, clear, type in the player you want, select it, click OK, and you're ready to go. Skeens. Yeah, Class A staying perfect also, I was surprised. I actually sold the Class A on my Cleveland team, and now I got to figure out, do I buy him or do I use that money to get a better pitcher? I don't know. He was pretty lights out last season. So yeah, the control, a little bit increase in stamp, control up 6 V right and 5 V left is very nice. Home run allowed, V right improved. So that's enough to kind of get him over that perfect, but he, you know, he's got to stay in that range. And so that'll be interesting to see. So clear, let's go take a look at Class A. Again, we just don't know when we see perfects. And again, how stellar are they? Like, how much are they 101s, 102s, 103s, 104s, 105s, right? We don't get that on the card, but that's kind of what the ratings are. And in reality here, he must have been a 103 or something because he dropped 7 PBABIP on both sides. The home run allowed did not change V right, which is interesting. And the control actually improved. So there's your Class A staying at perfect, and again, baked in at a higher rate. If he continues to falter, then he could drop from 100, but he may have more room to kind of play with on that. Which is interesting. Who's the other pitcher that moved up? It was Webb, right? Take a quick look at Webb. Clear Webb. Logan Webb, 11 increase in home run allowed V right. Does that mean he gave up no home runs V right? Oh, that's interesting too. Yeah, so that's a big improvement in home run allowed V right. Even though he's dropping in some other places here to PBABIP on both sides. So I don't know. I can't explain it. You were looking at Devin Williams. Let's go see what Devin Williams. Clear. Devin Williams definitely getting smashed around. It is interesting, right? You would think that this would make a slightly larger decrease. Stuff down, but again, some pretty stellar numbers there. The control is his really lowest aspect, as we saw in real life, and fewer strikeouts happening. So did not drop dramatically more, did not drop out of diamond. And again, got to remember, this is 1/6 of the season, right? So 1 month is only 1/6 of what could happen, and that also has an impact of how much that 1 month is going to impact versus the rest of season stats. Okay, guys, any other questions? I think I'm going to call this a stream, just a little quick stream to share the live card sheet. If you enjoy the live card sheet, let me know. Appreciate it. Thank you all to the subs and followers of the channel. We'll do this for every live card update. And I'm going to take you back over to your regularly scheduled morning. Thanks, guys. Stream with Nazbase, your Monday morning chill streams. So good luck, everyone. And if you've got tips for me, send me ideas of things I should be looking at for spec, etc. I appreciate it as well. We're all in this together, man. Trying to beat the machine, beat the game. Okay, let me take you on over to Nazbase. And guys, have a great rest of your week. I'll see you for Guess a Set on Wednesday. And thanks again. I know, it's going to take a while. Don't set up in a canoe. Thank you. Take care, everybody. Have a good one.